Shalom. I am your host, Shabar Judah Israel, on the behalf of Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. Just gonna get straight into the deal. We're gonna cut to the chase, give you the upcoming events concerning the upcoming Passover and the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, followed by the Day of Pentecost. But we're gonna mostly focus on the Passover and the upcoming Feast of the Unleavened Bread. So double honors to the elders, salutations to the Achaim. Last but not least, all praises and glorification and due honor to Yahweh Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let's get into the lesson. So we're going to go open the Bible up. We're going in the King James Bible to Leviticus 23 and 1. It says, "And Yahweh spoken to Moses, saying," Leviticus 23 and 2, speaking to the children of Israel. Who are the children of Israel? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, you are the chosen people according to the Bible by heritage and bloodlines. The people of Negro and Indian descent. Okay, as you can see, the 12 tribes of Israel. Everyone is not Israelites. Therefore, if you're not an Israelite, then you will be listed among the heathen nations, which is from 2 to 18. If you are not an Israelite, if you are not a so-called Negro, Hispanic, or Native American, you fall upon the ones that's listed in the box, which are heathens, which are not the Most High's chosen people. They are not the Most High's children, and they are enemies, okay, in the eyes of number one, which is on the top. Number one are the chosen, 2 to 18. Number one are your enemies. They are heathens. So if you're not from the nation of Israel, we're not concerned about you. We don't give a damn about you. Okay, so let's cut back to the chase concerning the scriptures. Leviticus 23 and 1, "And the Lord Yahweh spoken to Moses, saying," speaking to the children of Israel, okay, not heathens, "and singing to them concerning the feast." What feast? Is a list of feasts in Leviticus the 23rd chapter, which is known as holy days. We're not going to go over all the holy days among this chapter, but we're going to bring out the upcoming Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is right around the corner, speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. Convocations mean gatherings. So we're supposed to have holy gatherings concerning the holy days, concerning the feast of Yahweh. The Most High gave us holy days. He didn't never give us no damn holidays. So this is what we're bringing out concerning the upcoming Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, followed by the first fruits, the holy days. Leviticus 23 and 5. It goes to say, "And the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover." So the 14th day of the first month. We need to identify when it's the first month, and that way we'll know the 14th day of that first month. It is known as the Lord's Passover. Now, when is the first month? The first month is March, okay? The first month is March. But we need to understand month. What is the etymology of month? What is the origin of month? Where did month get its name from? Month comes from the etymology of moon. As you can see right here, if we zoom in, it says moon. Germanic, Old English, it says Mona. Go down here to English, it says month. Then you go right here to the end of this phrase, it says the moon being used to measure time. So the moon was used to measure time, and that's how we know when certain feast days is coming about, because the measurement of concerning the timeline of the moon. We're going to get you a scripture for that. This is Ecclesiasticus, which is in the Apocrypha books, the 14 books that were taken out by the Catholic Protestants in the year of, I believe, like sometime the 1800s. Okay, they took out the 14 books, which is the Apocrypha. They extracted that from the King James Bible. One of those books are known as Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. 43 and 6 concerning the moon. King Solomon wrote this book, brothers and sisters. "He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world." So he made the moon. Who made the moon? Yahweh, the Heavenly Father. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So that's why when we went back to etymology concerning the moon, it tells you that the word moon is the Old English mona, which in English means month, and then down here it says to measure the moon being used to measure time, because the moon is a timepiece. Okay, you have 8 phases, primarily 8 phases of the moon. Okay, the moon goes through 8 phases, and it's all used to measure and calculate time. That's why primarily when you look at the watches, like the wristwatch, the clock on the wall, when you look at the timepiece, what shape is it? It's circular, man. Like mostly all the clocks are circular because it's in reference to the moon being that same shape. So this is the measurement of time. This is the time device that was used to measure nature. The moon, man. The moon is the ultimate time device. Not your wristwatch, not your clock, not your wall clock. None of that. It's the moon, as you can see, to measure the moon being used to measure time. So we on point here. Sirach 43:6 says he made the moon also to serve in the seasons for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Okay, that's why the true Jews, we know when the appointed feast days. Why? Because we observe the moon. Okay, we observe the moon. And let's get you another verse concerning the moon. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 43 in the Apocryphal. Some call this book Sirach. It says, we read verse 6. Now we are going to read verse 7. For the moon is the sign of feast. The moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So the moon is a sign to tell you when the feast days are coming about, or tell you when the holy days are coming about. Now, where's the holy days listed? In Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. That's why I was telling you in Leviticus 23:2, speaking to the children of Israel and say concerning the feast, concerning these holy days, concerning the feast. How you going to concern the feast? How you going to know when the feasts are about? You're going to know that basically through the moon. Okay, you're going to know that from the moon because the moon is the sign of feast. Okay? The moon is a sign of feast. And that's why we're bringing out the moon, the lunar calendar. Let's go back to February because it's technically February the 28th. So this is where we're at today. This is February the 28th. But you must know this, brothers and sisters, a new moon fell February 26th. Now February 26th was Saturday night. The days are calculated by the setting of the sun. So when the sun goes down, it creates a new day. So you can say that Saturday night brought in the 26th of February. Now Saturday night, which brought in the 26th of February, brought in a new moon. Now what is a new moon? New moon, we showed you what the word moon means. It comes from the Old English mona, which means month. So a new month fell February, Saturday night, which technically made a Sunday. A new month came about. And what month? March, okay? March, which is known as the month of Abib in the King James Holy Bible. Now, March is the first month of the year. It's not February. And we will show you that, okay? Just showing you about March concerning this article from Wikipedia. It says the name March comes from the Latin Martius, the first month of the earliest Roman calendar. So right here, you can see March is the first month. Okay. However, today they consider March today in America to be March is the third month. But not only according to the Roman calendar, March is the first month, but according to the Bible, March is the first month. and we'll show you that. All right, here's another article we just pulled up dealing with the origin of the names, of the month. Okay, we're just gonna show you right here. It says March. It says this is the first month of the Roman year. It's named after the Roman god of war, Mars. So we just showing you right there. March is the first month. It's not the third month. It's the first month. You actually will begin counting concerning months. You will begin counting the first month, March going on down. So March will be the first month, and you will come on down. Now February is the last month of the year. Okay. So March is the first month of the year. Okay. Concerning the origin of the names of months, you can go all the way down. You can see for yourself. Okay. You can see for yourself. You like look at August. It says this month was called Sextilis, from sextus, which means six. So August is technically the sixth month. You see that? August is technically the sixth month. Not the eighth, because in America they say January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. You know. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll tell you today in America, August is the 8th month. But what it says right here, originally this month was called Sextilis, from sextus, which means six. Okay? But the month was changed in the honor of the first Roman Emperor Augustus. So they named August after Augustus. So if you count back, I mean, if this the 6th month, this 6, 5, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2, and that's 1. March is the first month of the year. And we're going to show you that according to the scriptures. So the first month of the year, the reason why we're bringing this out, because in Leviticus 23 and 23 and 5, it says, in the 14th day of the first month, at even if the Lord's Passover. So that's coming up, man. The 14th day of the first month. The first month is March. We showed you through the articles. And we're going to also show you concerning the scriptures, the 14th day of the first month. The first month is March. So when you go back to the lunar calendar, February 2017, Saturday night, Saturday, which was the 25th, all right, after the sun went down, Saturday, February 25th, it technically brought in a new moon, which fell on a Sunday. That new moon is a new month. That new month is the beginning of March. March is the first month of the year. And we'll show you that. And from that first month of the year, you're going to count right here. You're going to count right here since this day 1 of the first month of the year. And you'll count all the way until you get to 14. You'll go from 1, 2, 3. Skip over to March. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And right here, this is when the Passover. This is the Lord's Passover. Yahweh's Passover right here. Okay. After the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread kicks in, which lasts for 7 days. Feast of Unleavened Bread will begin actually March the 12th, and it will close out on March the 18th. All right, so this is the Passover, March the 11th coming up. The Feast of Unleavened Bread lasts from March 12th all the way through the 18th. Feast of Unleavened Bread lasts for 7 days. We'll show you all this in the Bible. Okay, so let's go back to February right here, and this is when the new moon fell, February 26th, which technically Saturday night was made a Sunday. Now we go back into the scriptures. We're going to deal with March being the first month of the year, because we know that the Lord's Passover is coming about. And it tells you at the first month, it says you on the 14th day of that first month, that's when the Passover falls about. Okay, so let's deal with the first month. Deuteronomy 16 and 1. Observe the month of Abib. We're going to find out what Abib means. And keep the Passover until Yahweh thy power. So, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the chosen people, the Israelites. Okay, if you're on this sign right here, so-called Negroes, with Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, so forth, going on down. Guatemalans, the Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, Argentinians, Colombians, and Mexicans. If you're on this list, you are the 12 tribes of Israel. You got to wake up, man, because you are known as the chosen people of the Most High. You are his children if you're on this list. Those of you that don't want to wake up, you are known as 2/3, and you're going to be destroyed by the Most High if you don't keep his laws and if you don't line up with his Bible. But those of you that's ready to wake up, follow me, man. I'm not going to lead you wrong. I'm going to show you the way to repentance. I'm going to show you the light. All right. So when we go back into the scriptures, it says, Deuteronomy 16:1, observe the month of Abib, and it says, and keep the Passover. It never told blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to keep Easter. If we don't celebrate Easter, Easter is a pagan custom. It's a pagan holiday that came out of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, the Roman Catholic Church got this all the way back from ancient Babylon, because Easter is the Babylonian custom that was passed down to the Vatican. And in the Vatican, pretty much what they did was they ushered this thing out. They dished it out in these denominations today. But we supposed to keep the Passover. Don't never let someone tell you that you're not supposed to keep the Passover. Okay? Because a lot of people try to replace the Passover with the Holy Communion. You're supposed to keep both. So it says, keep the Passover until Yahweh thy power, for in the month of Abib, Yahweh thy power brought you out of Egypt by night. So in the month of Abib, we came out of Egypt after being slaves for 430 years in the land of Egypt. In the month of Abib, that's when we were liberated from the Egyptians. That's when we came out of bondage. So the month of Abib is also a month of liberation, a month of independence concerning Israel being free from the Egyptians after being enslaved 430 years. So let's see what a month of Abib. Let's see what the month of Abib. It says Abib, which is Hebrew 24 in the Hebrew dictionary. So I'm going to click it right quick.
Strong's H24, Aviv.
Okay, I know that was a little bit loud, but it says Aviv, Hebrew 24. We're going to click right into it. It says Abib, fresh young barley ears, barley. What does that mean? It says the month of the ear, forming, of greening of crop, which means the ear of corn, basically. Greening of crop, or growing green. Well, we know that the vegetation, the elements, the flowers, the grass, the leaves. I mean, we know this is a form of greening around this time, because March is actually the first month of the year. That's when everything begins to revitalize and spring and come forth and bloom out concerning nature. So it says Abib right here, all right? Then it says the month of Exodus in the Passover. Now right here, look what it says. It says March or April. Sometime March to early April according to the lunar calendar. Okay, so the lunar calendar is right here. Okay, so we know that the first month of the year fell Saturday night, which technically was February 2017, 26, which was a new moon, which was a new month. So this is March. This is when March fell right here. And March is what? March is the first month of the year, which some may call Nisan. All right? Abib. It says an ear of corn. All right? The month of green ears. Let's see. The beginning at the new moon of April. Of March, according to so forth, it says the first month of the old year. The first month. So technically March is the first month, man. Believe it or not. You can even look in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Look in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Okay? You can purchase one of these Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionaries and you can look at the term or the definition of Abib. And it tells you in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary that Abib is technically the first month of the year, man. Abib means ear of corn. It says it's the first month of the year, man. which is March. Okay, just check it out for yourself. I thought it would be online, but I don't see it concerning the bill, but we'll look around even more. It says right here, here's another one, a bill, which means the ear corn, the month of newly ripened grain. It says the first of the Jews' ecclesiastical year. So Abib is the first of the Jews' ecclesiastical year. All right. It began about the time of the vernal equinox on 21st of March. It was called Nisan after the captivity. Babylonians called the first month of the year Nisan. Okay, some people call March Nisan, which means the first month of the year. But you can see right here, man, this is not reliable information. But they're going to try to hide the truth. But the best thing to do, brothers and sisters, like I said, you might want to get the Zunder and Compact Bible Dictionary. You can look up a bill for yourself, man. I think I pretty much showed you enough concerning the bill in Hebrew 24 in the Hebrew Dictionary. Okay, so it says observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover. So this is what we're supposed to do, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, so let's go to Deuteronomy 12 and 1. This is Exodus 12 and 1. It says, and Yahweh spoken to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, Exodus 12 and 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. So the hell with what the white man says, the Most High says that concerning the bill, it says this shall be the beginning of months. It also says it shall be the first month of the year to you. So that's March, man. However you want to call it March, or some may call it Nisan. It's the first month of the year. Okay? Abib means ear corn because usually that's when corn begins to sprout around the time of March and early April. So Abib means the ear corn, meaning March to early April, man. Okay, it says, speaking to the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, and a lamb for a house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, this is concerning the Passover that's coming up, let him and his neighbor next into his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. Okay, then it says, Exodus 12 and 5, your lamb shall be without blemish. It has to be a male lamb of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep and from the goats. See that? It says, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep and from the goats. Then it goes on to say, Exodus 12 and 6, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day. Keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. Okay? You got to kill it in the evening. Keep it up until the 14th day. Okay? And you got to kill it in the evening. Okay? It says, now the 14th day of Nisan, or some may say Abib, which is March, is the Passover. Okay, we'll come back to Exodus 12 and 6. And we'll come back to Exodus 12 and 6. Let's go to Leviticus 23 again. Okay, that's why we're trying to tell you the 14th day of March is the Passover, because Leviticus 23 and 5 says, in the 14th day of the first month, at even is the Lord's Passover. So, new moon fell Saturday night, was technically made a Sunday. Let's count 14 days. That would be the first month of the year, which would be March the 1st right here, which made February 26th. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's skip over to March. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's on the 10th day. You gotta get your lamb, male lamb. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And on the 14th day, you gotta kill it at evening. So when is technically the Passover for this year? March the 11th, 2017. Right after the Passover falls the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is going to last for 7 days. Feast of Unleavened Bread going to fall on the 12th through the 18th, right there. So, that's why on the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover. Leviticus 23 and 6, it says, and on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of the Unleavened Bread unto Yahweh. It says 7 days. So, you can see we got 2 holy events coming up. 2 feast days coming up. On the 15th day of the same month, which is Abib, which is, some may say Nisan, March, the first month of the year. It says on that 15th day of that same month is what? The Feast of the Unleavened Bread unto Yahweh. How many days this lasts? 7 days. You must eat unleavened bread. So, right after the 11th, which is technically March the 14th, counting from the 26th of February, which was the new moon, right after March the 11th comes in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. How long it lasts? It says right here, 7 days. So you're going to count from the 12th, 7 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it'll close out on the 18th. It'll close out on the 18th, man, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Now, there are no 7 days concerning the Feast of Unleavened Bread. It tells you you cannot eat unleavened bread. You know why? Because no, Salat. I'm sorry. It says you must eat unleavened bread. It says you must eat unleavened bread. Bread that doesn't contain yeast. You know why? Because bread that is leavened represents sin. Okay? So within 7 days, you have to purge out all the leaven. You have to purge out that sin within that man or that woman has to purge that sin within. So you have to eat unleavened bread. Okay? All right? I like to go ahead and tie the Holy Communion in also with the Passover. Tie that in because it's pretty much the same but has slight modifications. So you must eat unleavened bread how many days? 7 days. Okay? You can see right there. It says, in the first day you shall have a holy convocation, you shall do no servile work. So it says that you have to eat unleavened bread for 7 days concerning the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which falls right after the Passover. The Passover is March the 11th, and right after that is the Feast of Unleavened Bread from the 12th to the 18th. Also, brothers and sisters, no leavened bread can be in your houses. Okay? No leavened bread. You have to get rid of that. I'm going to show you that, brothers and sisters. This is concerning the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Exodus 12 and 15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses, man. So if you have brothers and sisters, because I'm telling you the Feast of Unleavened Bread is going to start after March the 11th, which technically is the 14th, from the 12th to the 18th. If you have anything containing yeast, any bread containing yeast, you got to eat these Debbie snacks, these cakes, these pies, anything concerning yeast, you got to get rid of that. From March 12th all the way to the 18th, that can't be in your houses. All right, you see it right here, Exodus 12 and 15. Even the first day you shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread, whosoever concerning the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel, meaning put to death, because back then they put you to death. So if you don't, we don't expect the 2/3 to know about this truth. We don't expect the ones in the red, which are the 2/3, to know about this truth. But the elect, the 1/3, the 33.3% of Israel that will be saved from this upcoming nuclear destruction and calamity coming on America, if you is keeping the faith and doing what the Bible prescribes, then it's a different story for you that's in the yellow, because you know these things. So if you know these things, brothers and sisters, and whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, meaning if you eat unleavened bread between March the 12th, from March 12th through the 18th, if you eat unleavened bread in between, the scriptures tells you that what's going to happen? It says that that soul shall be cut off from Israel. The Most High could put you to death, man. Okay? It's real out here. It's real according to this Bible. The Most High can put you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans to death. So you 1/3 that's keeping the laws, just be sure, man, when this come about, you do that. Don't eat no leavened bread, because if you do, between that period, if you eat leavened bread between the 12th and the 18th, it's a possibility that anything can happen to you, man, from the 12th or 18th and afterwards. The most I can jack your ass up and put you to death, man, straight up, for not keeping not keeping the scriptures and the laws, man. Okay, so also during the Passover, which is March the 11th here, during the Passover, no leavened bread should be eaten. Okay, you got to eat unleavened bread during the Passover. All right, so these just some upcoming events that I'm just trying to share with you, brothers and sisters, concerning the upcoming Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Once again, the upcoming Passover is on the 11th of March 2017, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread is on March the 12th through the 18th, man, for 7 days. No leavened bread in your houses, man. As you can see, pursuing the Exodus 12 and 15. Okay. And concerning the Passover, let's go back up. Concerning the Passover. The Passover, which is March the 11th, is technically the 14th. The Passover, it says, the Passover, it says, you got to get your lamb. Your lamb got to be without blemish. It has to be a male. Now, it's hard to decipher if the lamb is a male or female today, because when we go into the meat market, we just buy lamb. We don't ask the butcher is a male or female. But if you want to ask your butcher, you can feel free to ask your butcher, was this a male or female lamb that was slaughtered and put on the market? 9 times out of 10 they don't know. So we have to kind of go with what we have. Your lamb shall be without blemish. That should be not a lamb that's crippled. Should be a male of the first year. You should take it out from the sheep and from the goats. Now, this is concerning the Passover, which is March the 11th. And you shall keep it up until the 14th day, because it told you what to do on the 10th day. It told you what to do on the 10th day. Okay? Okay, it says, let's see. Exodus 12 and 3, speaking to the congregation of the children of Israel, saying the 10th day. The 10th day. When is the 10th day? This is the 14th, which is the Passover. So let's go back 13, 12, 11, 10. Right here, March the 7th, which is the 10th day. It say the 10th day of this month, they shall take them every man a lamb according to the house of their father. So if you want to go out on the 10th day, which is technically March the 7th, and if you want to go to the butcher shop and purchase you a lamb, then that would be the appropriate time to do it on the 10th day, pursuing the Exodus 12 and 3 of the month of Abib, which is March. Take it every man according to his house of their fathers, a lamb for the house. If the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next into his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. This is the preparation. Exodus 12 and 5, your lamb shall be without blemish. We read that already. A male lamb, it has to be of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep and from the goats. Exodus 12 and 6, you shall keep it up until the 14th day. So from the 10th days, technically March the 7th, you got to keep it up until the 14th day. When you go purchase your lamb from the butcher shop, your meat shop, you got to keep it from the meat market. You got to keep it up until the 14th day, which is technically March the 11th, which is the Passover. Okay. Keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. See that? So you got to kill it in the evening. You got to kill it in the evening, while the sun is out on the 14th day. All right. Which is technically March the 11th. And they shall take the blood and strike it on the two sides of the post and the upper door of the houses wherein, and they shall eat the lamb, basically. So we don't have to take the blood of the lamb and strike it on the two sides of the post, basically on the threshold of the door. You know, like on the door, the two sides and on the top. We don't have to do that now because that lamb is Yahushua. Okay, Yahushua is not the lamb, okay, which is the son of the living God. So we don't have to do that anymore because it's the Yahushua blood. Yahushua is the Lamb of God now. So we trust it and believe it, and we have redemption through his blood. All right? We'll show you that because we don't want to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans actually going out killing animals and striking the blood upon the doors. We don't want you doing that because we're going to just show you back then, this was things. I'll show you. This is Romans 15 and 4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime was written for our learning, and that we through patience and comforts of the scriptures may have hope. So what was written aforetime was written for your learning. I'm going to show you about foreshadow the things to come. Show you about foreshadow of things to come. This is Hebrews 10 and 1. For the law having a shadow of good things to come. That's the law of sacrifice. It having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never with those sacrifices they offer year by year continually make the comers thereunto perfect. Because sacrificing animals could not make you perfect. So all this was like a shadow of things to come. The things to come, what this is in reference to is the Son of God, Yahushua. Okay, that's what it's talking about, things to come. Because before Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, they were sacrificing, the priests were sacrificing animals for the atonement of Israel's sins. But all this back then was a shadow of good things to come, which is in reference to the Son of God, Yahushua. It says, by those things which concerning the law of sacrifice could never make those, never with those sacrifices, those animal sacrifices, they offer year by year continually, can never make the comers perfect, man. So, Hebrews 10 and 2, for then would they have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have had no more conscience of sin. And then you see right here, Hebrews 10 and 3, but in those sacrifices there is a remembrance again made of sins every year. It says, for it is not possible that the blood of bulls and goats should take away sins. You see that? So that's why we telling you don't go and get a lamb and kill the lamb and actually smear the blood upon your door today, because all this was a shadow of things to come. That lamb back then was Yahushua. So it says it's not possible that the blood of bulls and goats should take away the sins. So we don't do animal sacrifice no more. We don't go out and actually kill the lamb and smear the blood upon the door like they did back then. Okay, you see that? It says, wherefore, when he come into the world, this is Yahushua, the black Messiah, he said, sacrifice and offerings thou wouldst not, but a body hast thou prepared. And that was the Son of God. Okay, Yahushua. Okay. So we don't no longer do the blood of bulls and goats and lambs. But back then, they did that, brothers and sisters. But we'll show you that Yahushua is now the Lamb of the Most High, the Lamb of God. This is John 1 and 29. The next day John sees Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, coming into him and said, behold, he says, the Lamb of God which taketh away the sins of the world. The Lamb of God. John 1 and 36. And looking upon Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, as he walked, he said, behold, the Lamb of God. So Yahushua now is the Lamb. Okay? Yahushua now is the Lamb. Okay? As we showed you. John 1 and 29. John the Baptist saw Yahushua coming and he said, this is the Lamb of God. And John 1 and 36. And looking upon Yahushua as he walked, he said, behold, the Lamb of God. So who is the Lamb of God today? Yahushua. Okay. But back then, before Yahweh came, they was actually sacrificing literal lambs, man. Okay? Concerning the Passover. Let's go back. And that's why I'm going to show you when we was reading in Exodus chapter 12, it was telling the children of Israel that 12 and 5-year lambs shall be without blemish. That was back then before Yahweh came. That was a literal lamb, a beast of the field. But now we don't no longer do that. That was the literal lamb that they had kept up until the 14th day. But we still eat the lamb, okay? We still eat that lamb, okay? So if on the 10th day, which is technically March the 7th, if you want to go out to the meat market and purchase your lamb, we gotta eat that lamb to this day because that's in reference to Yahweh Shai. So if you want to prepare that lamb on the 10th day, which is technically March the 7th, up until the 14th day, which is technically March the 11th, you could do that. But just as far as taking a literal lamb and killing it and smearing the blood upon the doors, you don't do that. See, it say they shall take the blood and strike it upon the two sides of the post. We don't do that today. That's gone. The blood is Yahweh Shai. Okay, so the Lamb of God is Yahweh Shai. Now I'm going to show you the blood today in reference to Yahweh Shai, who is the Lamb of God. So you get a good idea that we don't no longer actually do Exodus 12 and 7 by taking the blood and putting it upon the post. Okay, we don't do that because we just showed you in Hebrews, the 10th chapter, about it ain't possible that the blood of bulls and goats and things like that, it's not possible that that take away sin today. But the blood of Yahweh shall take away the sins. How we know that? Let me show you something. So let's skip down to Exodus 12 and 13. All right. It says, and the blood shall be for a token upon the houses. That same blood that the Israelites back in the day, back in the ancient world, when they smeared it around the doorposts, it says that blood shall be for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Yeah, because the Most High was going to smite all the firstborn of Egypt with death. But he told the Israelites, when I see that lamb's blood around the thresholds of your doors, he said, I'm going to pass over you. And that's why they call it a Passover, which is technically when? March the 11th. Okay, so we're going to go back to Exodus 12 and 13. And I'm going to show you about the death angel concerning the Passover. This is Exodus 11 and 5. It says, well, let's start with Exodus 11 and 4. And Moses said, thus said Yahweh, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt. Okay? And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beasts. Exodus 11 and 6. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it anymore. So the Most High was telling Moses that he was going to send out the death angel to kill all the firstborn in the land of Egypt. Okay, and that's why in Exodus 12, the Most High instructed Moses to tell the children of Israel to prepare for the Passover. Why? Because Exodus 12 and 13 says that blood of that lamb that they took and smeared upon the doorposts shall be a token for them upon their houses. So when that death angel do come throughout the land of Egypt to kill the firstborn of the people and beasts of the field, he says, when I see the blood, I will pass over you. That back then, that lamb's blood back then, was in reference to Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? That's why we don't actually do the literal lamb blood today, because that lamb blood is Yahweh Shai back then, man. It was a foreshadow of things to come. So he said, I will see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. Okay, with that death curse. Okay, so Exodus 12 and 13. Let's go to Matthew 26 and 26. Because this is in reference to the Holy Communion as well. This is in reference to the Holy Communion as well. Matthew 26 and 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus, took bread and blessed it, and brake it and gave it to his disciples, and said, "Take it, eat, this is my body." So that bread that they broke, that lakam, that bread that they broke was in reference to Yahushua's body. That bread represented his body. All right? Matthew 26 and 27. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye all of it." Matthew 26 and 28. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shedded for many of the remission of sin. So that wine was in reference to the blood of Yahushua. Matthew 26 and 28. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for the remission of sins. See? And they call Yahushua the Lamb of God, man. So, the blood of Yahushua. For this is my blood of the New Testament, the New Covenant, which is shedded for the remission of sins. So, Yahushua's blood is for your remission of sins, man. Okay, as you can see. So, that's more like the blood today. Back then, the blood was referring to the lamb's blood back then, a literal lamb. But the literal lamb today is Yahushua. Okay? So that blood is a token. That blood is a token for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who's keeping the laws. That blood is a token for the 1/3, the 33.3%, which is in the yellow, that will be saved. How? By the blood of Yahushua. You are covered under the blood of Yahushua. Just like back then, they were covered under that lamb's blood that was a token upon their houses to keep them safe from the death angel that passed over them. That's why they call it the Passover. Because Yahushua getting ready to kill up a lot of niggas, man, that don't keep the Passover. And if you don't keep it, then we already know, then you don't have the blood of Yahushua. So today they call the Passover the Holy Communion in the church, but you're supposed to keep both of them, man. How do we know that? This is Exodus 12 and 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast of Yahweh throughout your generations. And ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. Now what is that? Talking about the Passover. It was never done away. The Holy Communion did not replace the Passover. However, you're supposed to keep the Holy Communion too. But you can see, man, that's pretty much what I had to say concerning these two events that's coming up. Just remember the Passover is March the 11th. The Feast of Unleavened Bread is from the 12th, March the 12th through the 18th, man. So we already know showed you concerning the scriptures, concerning this lesson. All right. This is another precept concerning the Passover. This is Zechariah 13:8. It says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." Now this is the Israelite pie chart of salvation and destruction. And what he's talking about concerning Zechariah 13:8 about these 2 parts being cut off is 66.6% of all people of the 12 tribes of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that are not keeping the Most High's laws, that are not waking up, no matter how many prophets they see crying out in the streets, no matter what they come across of them being a Hebrew Israelite. The people on this chart right here that refuse to accept to step up to their calling, to step up to their nationality and their heritage. They don't want to keep God's laws. They want to keep doing the customs of America and all these other wicked countries. If you're on this list and you're not doing what the Most High demands in this Bible, then guess what? You in Zechariah 13:8, 2 parts of our people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is going to be cut off and die, man. How your death is going to be carried out? Thermonuclear destruction. If it's not from New World Order, if it's not from martial law, if it's not from the race wars, you're going to die, man. But the third shall be left therein, because the third is the one that's going to be passed over, man. Just like back in Exodus 12, when we was talking about that token of blood that was for the Israelites that smeared the lamb's blood upon the door beams. And when the death angel came throughout Egypt to kill all the firstborn of man, woman, and beast, the only one that was spared was the one that had the token of blood, which the Israelites that had a token of blood. Well, if you're not covered under the blood of Yahweh today, man, this is the token of blood today. This is the Lamb of God today. If you're not covered under Yahweh, 2/3 of all people, 2 parts thereof, shall be cut off and die. And if you don't know who that is, those are the ones in the red. 66.6 of Israel shall die, man. Out of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But the third going to be saved, including the 144 prophets. Most I ain't playing no games. Okay? So just imagine, man, the upcoming Passover that's coming about on March the 11th. Just imagine how many of our brothers and sisters that's not keeping that, that's lost. Just imagine that. If you will visualize that, just imagine how many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that don't know about the upcoming Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, man. It's a blessing to be sane and to be woke up into this truth. Okay? Okay? That's why pursuing the scriptures, man, it says that a third shall be left therein. Zechariah 13:9, and I will bring the third part through the fire. What fire? Nuclear destruction. ICBM atomic missiles, man. I will bring a third part through the fire. Most likely, it's the ones right here in the yellow that's going to be brought through the fire. The rest of you niggas going to die, man, because you failed to keep the commandments of this Bible. You failed to submit to the scriptures, man. All right? Most of you niggas going to die, but 1/3 will be brought through the fire and refined as silver. And the Most High going to try them as gold, because your faith has to be tried, man. The Most High trying the elect now, because he trying to see if you devoted on keeping the feast days. A lot of you niggas talking about, I don't want to keep the Passover, knowing it's coming up, and knowing that the Feast of Unleavened Bread is coming up, followed by the first fruits, the day of Pentecost. You niggas know these events coming up. Most of you, some of you that know of the truth, you know it, but you don't do it. You don't keep it. So the Most High says, look, even the ones that's claiming they Israelites and stepping up to the calling, and even the ones that's claiming this heritage, he said that I got to try them as gold is tried, and they shall call upon my name, and I will hear them. The Most High only knows the ones, the true, sincere ones that's in this truth, man. Because when we call upon his name, first of all, you got to know the name. Okay? They shall call upon my name, and I will hear them. The only ones that know the true name of the Heavenly Father is the elect, man. The 33.3% that's going to be saved. They know the real name of Yahweh. Not Yahuwah, not Yehoshua, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Jehovah. None of that. It's Yahweh, man. Okay? And it ain't and his son's name is not Yeshua, it's not Yeshaya, it's not Yehoshua, it's Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Son of the living power, man. Only the elect knows the Heavenly Father's in his son's name. So when you go back here in Zechariah 13:9, it says, they shall call on my name. You niggas talking about the name is not significant. The name is not essential. He say, you're going to be delivered by calling on his name, man. And he say, I will hear them that calls on the true name of the Heavenly Father and his Son. The Most High not stunting the rest of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's not part of the elect and that don't give a damn about his name or this truth. Because 2/3 going to be cut off and die. But he say the 1/3 going to be saved. He say, I will say it is my people. The Most High say, you his people. If you know his name and his Son's name, you his people. They shall say, the Most High is my power, man. These are the elect, the true worshipers, man, of the nation of Israel. The elect, the 1/3. Okay? You the one that's going to be passed over. You the one that's going to be refined as gold in the furnace. The rest of you 2/3 niggas going to die. All right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because I know what you're thinking. Just because you Negro and Indian descent, oh, I'm an Israelite. That don't mean a damn thing. Because if you're not subscribing to the Bible, that don't profit you anything, man. You're going to die. Okay? So we talking about the Passover, man. The Most High might bug out and go to killing a lot of niggas on March the 11th for not keeping the Passover, man. Just like the Elder Tahar, the apostle said, okay, he said this is the year 3D, death, diligence, and destruction. So a lot of you Israelites that know the Passover coming up and you're not keeping it, this could be your death date, March 11th. Might be before then. The month of March, period, might be destruction for a lot of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Especially for you niggas that ain't keeping the Passover, other feasts of unleavened bread, followed by the day of Pentecost. To niggas that ain't keep Purim neither. So we just putting this out here, man. Everybody's not part of the elect, okay? That's why we talking about the Passover. He said he gonna bring a third part through the fire, man. What fire? Is it hell in the earth? No, it's thermonuclear destruction and on the top of the fire from the race wars and the fire from the chariots. The only ones that gonna be refined as silver and gold in the furnace, tried in the furnace, is the elect, man. Okay? It's the elect, man. All right? We're going to show you something else. Dealing with Zechariah. Let's see. This is Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of Yahweh Elohim, are upon the sinful kingdom. Now, what is the sinful kingdom today? America, man. This is the sinful kingdom. It's a wicked-ass country, man. This place is full of abomination, man. Homosexuality, transgenderism, all right? Murder, theft, homosexuality, if I not said it already, adultery, okay? Just abomination, man, at its highest in this country. This is the sinful kingdom of the white man. Well, guess what? The Most High's eyes is upon it, man. What does that mean? UFO activity. That's why America is top notch for UFO activity, man. America is number one in UFO, man, activity. I will destroy it from the face of the earth. The Most I say I'm going to destroy America, man. I'm going to get rid of it. Saving that I would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. Now he's talking about the 1/3 that he got on reserve that he's not going to touch, which right here, the 33.3 of the nation of Israel that's going to be saved because they are covered under the blood of Yahushua. He says these people are going to be all right. But he said 2/3 of Israel, 2/3 of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you got to go. You got to go, man. Amos 9 and 8, he said, I will destroy it from the face of the earth, saving I would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, say that Yahweh. Amos 9 and 9, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sift in a seed. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, because the Most High has the elect that he has appointed, that he's going to save, man. But the rest of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you finished, man. Okay? That is all in reference to the Passover, man. Okay? Amos 9 and 10, all sinners are my people. The Most I say, all you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are his people. All these sinners that's transgressing the law, because that's what a sinner is. 1 John 3 and 4, for sin is the transgression of the Most High's laws. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all you niggas, okay, that's breaking the laws and statutes and commandments, that's eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobsters, celebrating holidays and so forth, that want to be a damn American. The Most I say, all you sinners, Amos 9 and 10, of my people shall die by the sword, man. That sword is in reference to nuclear destruction, including the destruction of the chariots and upcoming martial law, which say that the evil shall not overtake us nor prevent us. That's what you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are talking about. The evil shall not overtake us or prevent us. You can't run from the Most High, man. The world ain't big enough for you to hide in for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It say the evil shall not overtake us nor prevent us. Who's saying this? You ignorant ass blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is on the red side, man. You saying that. Ain't nothing gonna happen to us. But we gonna show you, man, that you niggas not gonna be passed over if you don't submit yourself under the blood of Yahweh Shai. Most of you don't even believe in the Son of God, saying that he don't exist. How you gonna be passed over? Was not ancient Israel passed over through the Lamb's blood during the time of the death angel, during that time of the Passover? Who you think the Lamb today? It's Yahweh Shai. Most of you don't even believe in the Son of God. You're not even covered under the blood, man. You done. Okay. Let's see. Isaiah 43 and 2. Isaiah 43 and 1. Let's start with that first. But now thus said Yahweh, that created thee, O Jacob, Israel, and he that formed thee, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. Okay? Talking about the elect, man. The electos. Isaiah 43 and 2. When thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee. Yeah, when they did that in the ancient time of when Israel was slaves, back under the ancient Egyptians, when they passed through the water, the Most High was with them, man. When thou pass through the waters, I will be with thee. He did that during the days of ancient Egypt. Through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. He did that during the days of ancient Egypt when the Israelites passed through the Red Sea, man. It says, when thou walkest through the fire, this is the upcoming destruction that's laid by a store for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the missiles that's Russia, North Korea, Korea, Iran, China, and Japan. The third world war that's in store for America. This is what it's talking about when you walk through the fire, man. He say thou shalt not be burned. Only the ones that's not going to be touched in the upcoming destruction is the elect, man, of the nation of Israel. Why? Because they covered under the Lamb's blood. They going to be passed over. All right? When you walk through the fire, thou shalt not be burned. Neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Because the Most High going to make sure you set, man. Long as you continue to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, you elect, you ones in the yellow, keep prescribing to this Bible and doing what this Bible says. You're going to be A-OK. The rest of you niggas are finished, man. Okay? The rest of you are done. All right? Isaiah 43 and 3, for I am Yahweh, thy power, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. So the Most High say, I'm only the God of the Israelites, man. I'm your Savior. But most of all, people don't even want to submit to the Bible and do what the Most High says. That's all right. You can count yourself out. You're not in the yellow. Okay? So, yeah, man. Sirach, one more. Sirach 2 and 5. This is Sirach and Ecclesiasticus, the apocryphal books that was taken out the Bible in the 1400s. Okay, I believe. I think from the 1400s to the late 1800s, but between that period, the apocryphal books were taken out the King James Bible. 14 of those books. One of those books is Sirach, which is Ecclesiasticus, which was written by King Solomon. And the reference of Sirach 2 and 5, for gold is tested in the fire, and those found acceptable in the furnace of humiliation. So, man, we have to be tried, okay? Because gold is tested in the fire. And brothers and sisters that's keeping the laws of the 12 tribes of Israel, out of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're going to have to be tried, man. So I know sometimes keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments can be staggering. It can be sometimes, it can be kind of, iffy at times. But you just keep doing it, man, and you keep going in hard for your hard by Shem Shai, and he gonna see you through, man. He gonna see you through. But the rest of you niggas upon the 12 tribes of Israel that don't want to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, don't even want to accept that you're an Israelite, and don't even want to listen to the prophets and the elders, man, you're not gonna be passed over, man. So this from me to you concerning this lesson on the behalf of Solid Foundation Israelite Academy. I hope you was edified with this lesson concerning the upcoming Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, followed by the Day of Pentecost. Hope you, brothers and sisters, be blessed. Hope you have a happy Passover that's coming up. Hope you have a happy Feast of Unleavened Bread. Also followed up 50 days, the Day of Pentecost. So, yeah, man, keep going in for your heart by Shem Shai. And with this, we say shalom.